Let them eat cake.
Who took the bomb?
Yikes. That was social media influencer Haley Bailey. And right before posting this TikTok at the Met Gala, she had 10 million followers. But right now, as of 6 days later, she is back down to 9.9 million. This, along with the Met Gala in general, has sparked a trend that people are calling the digital guillotine, or the Block Party 2024, in which people are activating against celebrities by blocking them and various other tactics of online activism. People always feel some type of way about the Met Gala every year, and to be honest, it does feel somewhat dystopian. I mean, many images from the gala could legitimately be mistaken for scenes from the Capitol in the Hunger Games. My question, though, is, should you be blocking celebrities? Now, I'm 31 years old. I'm pushing 32 by next month, which means I don't have a lot of hot takes left in me. They are room temperature at best. So my answer is, sure, if you want to, if you have the free time and that's what you want to spend your energy on, there's nothing wrong with that. But also, I think it's a really dumb distraction. The biggest reason I've seen given for this block party is that celebrities are not using their influencer money to say or do anything to help Palestine, which is a totally fair criticism. The problem is that if there has ever been a time when it is crucial for activists and anyone who cares about Palestine to be singularly focused, it is right now. I'm recording this on May 12th. Israel has been pushing Palestinians further and further south into Rafah, a city with a population of 171,000, and right now there are 1.4 million people sheltering there. There are another 450,000 or so sheltering on Al-Mawasi, this coast right here, and they are basically living in squalor. UN aid officials in the area say that they do not have enough supplies for these people. Israel has placed a siege on Rafah, including the border crossing into Egypt. Aid is not able to get into Rafah right now, and it was estimated that food aid would run out by the 11th, which was yesterday. Despite pressure from the US and other countries, Israel voted to expand operations in Rafah on Friday, the 10th, which they began carrying out on the 11th. And that's yesterday. Netanyahu says that they will fight alone if necessary. They will fight with their fingernails if they have to. This is also hot on the heels of the U.S. State Department releasing a report saying that it is reasonable to assume that Israel has violated humanitarian law in their use of U.S. weaponry. So, while in a vacuum, I don't have a problem with a let's block celebrities trend. Please don't mistake this video as defending celebrities, but I feel like it is taking up valuable space and effort from places where it is desperately needed. Right before the Met Gala, all I heard was all eyes on Rafah. And those voices are still there, but they are being muffled by people capitalizing on this trend. There are people who had small followings last week who are building entire platforms off of talking about this block party and making daily lists of people we should be blocking, and people whose hearts may be in the right place and are desperate in their inability to do more. So they latch on to any little thing that they feel could make a difference without thinking about long-term goals or lifelong struggle when it comes to progress. It's reminiscent to me of the blackout thing that they did on Instagram during the BLM protests. In a vacuum, there's nothing wrong with posting a black square on Instagram to show your solidarity with the movement, but at the time it was a hollow trend that overpowered important voices that were talking about things going on in places where activism was needed. And in the end, we had a lot of passion and excitement around the BLM movement, but it didn't really get us anywhere progress-wise. It's also how I think we got a lot of people thinking we're supposed to be blocking Starbucks or Coca-Cola for Palestine. These are not on the BDS list. There is a legitimate boycott against Starbucks for their labor practices, and BDS does support that boycott, but there is no boycott against them for Palestine. But you might not know that because Starbucks was one of the main companies that took up all the attention as far as a boycott goes, taking attention away from companies on the actual BDS list. And then we had people taking it even a step further and policing and shaming people who did not know that we were supposed to be boycotting Starbucks for Palestine, or Coca-Cola for that matter. So I'm really not trying to shame anyone or put moral weight on this issue. Again, there's nothing wrong with blocking celebrities and decentering them from your life. But if that's an issue for you, if you haven't decentered glorifying celebrities in your life already, if you haven't decentered consumerism in your life, then maybe add that to a list of things that you want to improve and start working on your own time. We don't need to turn it into a trend and then start policing people who aren't really enthusiastic about the trend. Probably the most silly thing I've seen is celebrities who have been outspoken on Palestine being put on this list, celebrities who are Palestinian being put on this list, people of color who have large TikTok followings being put on the list for talking about Sudan or Congo more than Palestine, even though that they have been talking about Palestine. White people speaking over and down to people of color who offer criticism of the trend or to individuals within this trend. It feels like a lot of people who really like being the authority on something and pretending to be cops when it comes to people who don't fall in line. There is value in online activism. There is value in decentering celebrities and consumerism in your life. This is not a call out, but a call in to be discerning in your activism. Effective activism is highly targeted and strategic. It's often not sexy or monetizable. There are many people out there who have organized effective strategic activism, and you can align yourself with them. You don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to be the authority. And you certainly don't have to be the purity police when you feel someone isn't doing what you think they should be doing. Progress will be an eternal struggle. And I feel like so many people see activism as a sprint to a ceasefire, a sprint to Palestinian statehood, a sprint to liberation. But it's a lifelong marathon. And the sad fact is that even if things were to turn around tomorrow in Palestine, it will likely take at least a generation before they are able to have decent, peaceful living conditions. This applies to all areas of activism. So my advice is to buckle up, hunker down, and don't get distracted by trends. I said earlier that online activism has value, and one online grassroots movement is having a huge, tangible effect on Palestinians in need. That is Operation Olive Branch. Watch this and then click on the link in the description to learn about how you can be involved. Thanks for watching.
What is Operation Olive Branch? Operation Olive Branch is a collective effort to extend a hand of unity to families in Palestine trying to evacuate. Gaza is under siege. You can adopt a family in several different ways. Monetary donations are essential right now, but you can also adopt a family by sharing, liking, and creating content to amplify their story across multiple platforms, making their voices heard across the globe. Each share, each like, and every story told is a step closer to safety for a family. Visiting the family's social media representatives page and engaging with their videos will also help to boost their story. Follow the amazing creators I've tagged who started this operation. There's also a link in my bio for the spreadsheet pictured, as well as a Telegram channel you can join to discuss how you can help others through solidarity with Operation Olive Branch.